You know, I think everybody's favorite billionaire should be what's the Facebook guy? Because that guy's really cool.
Yeah, totally.
That guy's super.
Yeah, I need to see a billionaire list.
Zoidberg.
Yeah,
Zoidberg.
he's pretty
Yikes.
cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty
sure.
cool. All of the
Oprah's
photos.
a billionaire. She seems relatively.
Ooh, she's my
Yeah.
favorite then.
I
Yeah.
like that. Good choice. Good choice. No on the
J.K.
Warren
Rowling.
And
Buffett.
she's,
J.K.
legit,
Rowling?
and she's legit self-made. Like she came
Yeah.
from dirt poor.
Yeah.
You know. Is Dolly Parton a billionaire? She'd be the best one.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think
No.
she should be.
She gives away
Yeah.
a lot, man.
She
Giving
does.
it away. Like J.K. Rowling used to be a billionaire, and now is not. Only has like 800 million.
Yeah.
Like some chump.
She might have gone over the edge. I bought a Harry Potter book yesterday, so
Yeah.
that might have bumped her back up.
Well, we are buying those Harry Potter board games. Those are some
Yeah.
good board games.
It's all what toppins or wait no what are the gold
Tuppence? I don't know.
what's in the bank in Harry Potter? The
Coins. They just call them coins.
The goblin gold.
Sean, you should know this.
What are they called?
Well, the bank is called
Gringotts
Gringotts.
is the bang.
Do they call them
Gringotts?
Gringot?
No, there's a name for it, but I
Gringotts.
can't think of it.
This is like
Galleons, I think
Yeah.
they do.
galleons or gold something.
Yeah. We're all putting the galleons in her knicker basket or whatever.
Wizarding money comes in 3 denominations:
Oh,
Thanks,
Lord.
Matt.
Thank you,
Yay.
Internet.
bronze, knuts, K-nuts, newts,
Yeah, it's pronounced newts.
K-nuts.
newts. It's spelled K-nuts. I don't know how
Yes,
it's
it's
pronounced.
spelled K-nuts. You're correct.
K-nut.
Bronze K-nuts, silver sickles,
All about
and
the K-nuts.
golden galleon.
Oh, the sickle.
Golden
Galleons.
Galleons.
Nice.
There are 29 nuts in a sickle.
Yeah,
and
there are.
I didn't know the conversion
And
rate.
17 sickles in a galleon.
God damn it, that is so
They should-
British.
There's no way that is not in the books. Someone just made that up. You cannot read those books and decipher how many sickles are in a galleon.
I think they do.
don't do the
Maybe
math
they did
enough.
some math. Okay.
I think they did
They
some
don't
sickles.
purchase
No,
enough
they don't
goods.
ever say like.
I think they
never
say how many
talk-
sickles
They
are in
don't
a
go to,
gallon.
like,
I
a
remember,
store and-
As a
talking about
scientist,
that
though,
shit.
you could
Maybe.
extrapolate.
Maybe they could
you
extrapolate.
Be like the cost of such and such is 5 sickles.
You guys remember when you could get
Wizarding
a
money comes in coins only. There are no galleon bills. As such, wizards have money pouches that they typically hang off their belts or under their robes.
I like that.
It is believed that the odd number of nuts in a sickle and sickles in a galleon is intended as a comment on British money before decimalization, with pounds, shillings, and pence being in an odd ratio to one another.
yeah. Ha. Like
Probably kept people sharper on math, though.
Yeah, why did people do that? But yeah.
You cannot think about the structure of wizard society in Harry Potter too much because
Yeah, it falls
apart if
real
you start
fast.
thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like, is there only one? Like,
I like that y'all are thinking
like
about
what are
it.
their jobs? Like, it does, this
Yeah.
the society doesn't make any
Right.
sense.
No.
Yeah.
Based on the technologies they have or magical things. It all
The society would make sense if it didn't try to live in the real world.
Yeah.
That's the part
or
that's
alongside
like,
of it, you mean? And
Yeah, it's like it's the being a hidden society within regular. If it was just the Wizard Society and there was, if it was a Lord of the Rings type situation where it was just
Fantasy.
the
Yeah.
world was
Shire.
that.
Yeah.
But it's the trying to hide it inside of the regular world that makes it fall apart really fast when you start to really think about it.
It makes less sense than the Star Trek universe.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about cars? The cars.
That is the one that makes
No, that's
that's a good
that
question.
universe makes the most sense.
That makes perfect sense.
That's the
People
one
have
that-
evolved into
We are
cars.
just a dream in Lightning McQueen's like eye.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
He's thinking of each one of you and he says, "Ciao."
Yes.
Who's manning the car washes in the Cars movie?
Huh?
Who's manning the car washes?
You mean the
Who
showers?
built the car wash?
They're called showers. Who
Okay,
builds any fucking thing? Why do they have door handles? I think we're finally seeing there's some cracks.
What?
On this
No.
podcast, we're finally getting through.
Now
some
we're
of the-
getting to the bottom of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
go straight to the top.
Too many secrets.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna
Pixar
we're all
people are gonna be
We're all
dead.
gonna be disappeared for asking too many hard questions.
Oh my god, I know. We,
If this is
we
the last
dissed
podcast,
billionaires.
you'll know why.
We dissed the wizarding
Oh
world.
my god.
We did not diss Oprah.
gonna be
All
marked.
right,
We
were
need to
pro
go in
Oprah.
hiding, you
Yeah,
guys.
we each need to go into hiding.
Can we stay here at the podcast
Welcome
ranch?
to the
Sure.
final
Enough
episode.
alcohol to stay in
This is
hiding.
definitely the last you'll ever hear from us.
Happy Halloween and welcome to an all-new episode of Warped. The spookily unnecessary Star Trek podcast where we provide live audio commentary tracks to Star Trek The Next Generation episodes. My name is Matt.
I'm Shawn.
Jake.
Phillipe.
Aaron.
And I'm Minh.
I should have made us all come up with
I
like
know. I was thinking of it. I'm going,
spooky Shawn.
if he had said
the
like
Simpsons
I'm
style.
Murder Matt or something, I was trying to think of what am I going to say. I was going to say I'm Shank.
This is our Halloween episode, you guys.
good.
This episode will come out on the 29th of October.
You should be Shank all the time.
So happy Halloween,
Shank.
everybody.
Hey.
Happy Halloween.
I'm sure we can come up. Yeah, that's a good one. Shank. That's great.
That's good. Well, that's it. We're all been out.
That would be your prison name.
I'm
It
Jugular
doubles.
Jake. Hello.
They call me Shank. We are watching Remember Me, which is, I think, one of the great episodes of Star Trek The Next Generation. I would put this on my list of 10 best episodes of Star Trek The Next Generation.
That list is getting crowded.
It's got 10. It's got 10.
It's a like revolving list.
Gotcha.
It's in a constant state of flux.
Yeah.
Much like in this episode, there are warp bubbles and things causing the list to shift and change. But yeah, that's what we're doing. You guys excited to watch this great episode?
Hell yeah.
Heck yeah.
It's the best Beverly episode she ever gets.
she
She'll
rocks
never
those
do.
bangs.
And Gates McFadden really crushes it, I think.
Oh, I like what you said there.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Zing.
I didn't even mean to. Shawn,
I got 45 minutes and 51 seconds on the clock, and I'm punching the triangle in 3, 2, 1, punch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
I love this shot of the ship coming into the starbase.
Yeah, get in that hole.
Very familiar.
Yeah.
I like that starbase. I love the starbase design. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed your Aaron-inspired introduction there, Matt. I
Well,
noticed.
it's our Halloween episode, so it felt appropriate to do something a little special.
give him a little twist.
We didn't dress in costumes this week, but that's okay. We could have. We should say we did.
We
No one
did.
will know.
No, we totally did.
This is an entirely
This is-
audio medium.
This is my costume.
Yeah, we're naked as jaybirds.
Yeah.
I went as Adam.
I went as a homeless person that is desperately in need of better mental health infrastructure.
I have to close.
The
This. I have to
commentary.
close this page on the economics of Harry Potter. It's making me insane.
Yeah.
Like, it's a book, you guys.
It's really distracting
Calm
me.
down.
Do they have like kid songs telling you about how many newts to a shekel?
It is unknown how education at Hogwarts is financed. Like, I can't get into
We
that.
could really do a deep dive on that someday.
Jesus Christ.
They kill a lot of dragons and loot a lot of dungeons for that, for
Probably
that coin.
true, you know.
That's what they need to do.
This is such a good episode for Beverly. It makes me so happy.
And who's she walking with right now?
So the setup, Minh, is that this is her old mentor, and he is retiring.
Dr. Quace.
Dr. Quace.
Medicine man.
He's retiring, and they're taking him back to his home planet. And she's happy to see him. She hasn't seen him in a long time.
It's
Light.
Wilford Brimley's dad.
And he was talking about how his wife has passed away and how he, the thing that sucks about getting old is that all of the people that you love are gone.
Yeah.
And you're not hot anymore.
So
Yeah.
Beverly has got
Speak for yourself.
Beverly has
Yeah.
got sort of like regrets and thoughts of loved ones on her mind this week. Jordy is real bitchy to Wesley in that scene. It really makes me laugh. Wesley is doing some kind of experiment, which is causing them to not be able to fly away because the engines are offline. And Jordy just keeps shouting at him like, "Turn the engines back on!
Yeah.
God damn it!"
I don't want to tell the captain when he tests the engage.
Captain's gonna
We
say
go
engaged,
nowhere.
and we just sit here.
Yeah. Unengaged.
They could pretend they're
So does
engaged.
Wesley work in the bridge or does he work on the... He just works wherever he needs
Wherever
to.
they need him.
Sometimes he flies the ship. Sometimes he's sitting at the
Engineering.
The helm.
con.
And sometimes he's cooking a cake in the engines. And
Sometimes he's doing random experiments down on
I didn't finish this episode, so is the timing of there being something fucky with the ship the same as Quace, like entering some other, like he's not on the board the ship anymore?
Yes,
Okay. It's related.
it's related.
Okay. I figured as much.
How do you know
We
it's
have so
Quace
many-
and not Queef?
Because the sound was on when I
Because
watched.
don't be gross, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But actually, technically, it's a Klingon.
Because they say his
Queef is
name
a
about
Quace,
30
so-
times in this
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, they do.
Just to hammer the point
Jesus.
home.
They spell it.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
So, Jake, I know you watched this. Shawn watched it. I watched it. That's it, right? Just the
I
three of us.
watched
You started to
a
watch it.
third of it.
Yeah.
Pretty good for a non-whoopee episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just ran
Well,
out of
it's because
time.
we talked it up last week.
Yeah.
And we were like, everybody should try and watch this week's episode.
It's just like
Only some people actually tried. but
A
that's
lot
okay.
of people actually tried comparatively.
man, the door to
Just their loss. They don't get to see this wonderful
Look, picture of
piece
space
art.
on the wall. Picture of space on the wall.
Yeah.
They're already in space.
Two.
green drink.
What a strange
Look out
bottle.
the window.
Yeah.
That room has two space.
It sure
It's a
does.
nice guest
They do.
room.
That is a
Yeah.
nice guest quarters. They
It's
gave
the
him-
lighting.
They give him this.
They gave
so
him like
warm.
the VIP room.
There's a lot of seating.
Yeah.
Beverly's got some.
Yeah.
There's like a
her
bottle of
blood burgers.
Romulan ale sitting there on the
Quace.
thing or whatever
Yeah,
that
there it
is.
is.
Yeah.
Dalen Quace.
Dalen Coyce.
Would you guys say those are fuck sofas too? That they would be
No,
good for.
I would not say they were fuck sofas.
Those
You think everything is a fuck sofa.
Yeah, everything is a fuck sofa if you try.
Every time
if
you,
you try
see a
hard
piece
enough.
of furniture, you think the first thing you think about is what it would be like to have sex on that furniture.
I never
Even when you
last
saw
week-
that freaky
last
ass
week-
Klingon
Last
chair.
week, all you kept talking about was fucking on that Klingon chair.
I think when he's actually confronted with a real fuck
I think this
sofa,
Ponfar
he will
thing.
not
I
know
think
what to
your
do with
Ponfar has started to flare up again. The last few weeks.
Well, we
We're
did
moving
start
into
doing
the,
this
we're
7
moving
years
into
ago.
fall. It's a season of harvest.
I know.
it's time to go out.
Spoiler alert, man. It's going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So,
I don't less so than the dwarf chair. That seemed impossible. I don't know
yes,
what you.
well, I agree with you about
Impossible
that.
if you're ingenious.
if you're a Klingon.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you just have to be a very creative lover.
Sorry, I stopped Shawn from giving the stats.
We're watching Remember Me. Original air date October 20th, 1990. Dr.
It was
Crusher's
also a Halloween episode, almost October 20th.
Dr. Crusher's fear of losing loved ones becomes real when her worries create an alternate reality.
Yep.
Aaron, what do you think the IMDb rating of this episode is?
Good answer.
8.1.
That's all gonna get edited out. That's like 3 seconds that can just go.
No, keep
just
it
had
in
a
and
slow
double
leak.
it.
Keep it, all of it. It's
All of it.
precious.
Yeah.
8.1.
Oh, wow.
All right. Anybody else?
7.9.
7.9.
Oh man.
Wow.
I think that's low.
I was going to say that it's almost a perfect 10. The only thing that knocks it down half a point is the presence of the
What?
traveler. So it's really a 9.
I thought you were going to say the presence of Wesley.
Yeah.
Well, he's fine in this. I mean, I forgot. I was going to bring the Post-it that has the Wesley saves the ship tally on it. This is a Wesley
one?
saves the ship episode.
Yeah, sure.
Well, it doesn't Wesley
But it's also he causes the
Yes,
problem.
it causes the
That's
problem,
what I
but he
thought.
does fix it.
Yeah.
Shawn and I talked about this yesterday, and we remembered that we had previously established the rule that even if Wesley
Causes
is the
it,
cause of the
if he
problem,
saves it,
as
we'll
long
count
as
it.
he saves it, it still counts as a Wesley saves the ship
Interesting.
episode.
That sounds like bad parenting, honestly.
So this episode reminds me a lot of the movie The Lady Vanishes. Have you guys ever seen The Lady
Yes.
Vanishes,
Yes.
the Hitchcock movie? No. Where the woman is on the train,
Yep.
and the old lady disappears, and everyone else on the train pretends they've never heard of her, and it's all about sort of, is she losing her mind, or is there some big conspiracy going on? It's a very good movie, and this episode kind of it starts at least with kind of the same premise, right?
Yep.
Dr. Quace has vanished, Minh,
Oh,
and there is no record that he was ever on the ship. So even though we've seen him,
yeah. And they were walking hand in hand
and-
or arm in arm.
they can't find him. I noticed that the fish is not in the fish tank this week. Or if it is, I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
Look how fast the ship is moving.
Which
though.
made me think that maybe Jean-Luc had it. Like,
Persevered. He and his.
Patrick Stewart
Anti-fish.
didn't want the fish to be cooped up in that thing.
It doesn't look like it's there.
So what Jean-Luc is saying to her is, you're supposed to tell me whenever there's going to be a guest on the ship. And she's like, I did tell you.
This is a lot about like bureaucracy.
And he's like, I don't remember you telling me that he was going to be on the ship. So it's a mystery, right? It's a mystery episode. Where is this man and why does nobody remember him except Beverly?
Yeah.
The doctor's name would score you a lot of points in Scrabble.
Yeah.
That Q is a valuable
Yeah.
tile for sure.
What are you guys talking about? Who are you guys talking about?
Yes.
Who are you? What show is this?
I'm just saying you seem to be talking about somebody, but the intro was all about Wesley and Jordy. I didn't see any. There was
Doctor Who.
I know that once you saw Wesley, you got lost in his eyes, and all else plot.
I was
just
wondering what
ran
kind
out
of
the door.
chapstick he uses.
How do you guys feel about Wesley in the official uniform versus his?
I like it a lot better than
Yeah, the gray thing.
the other things they made.
I'm not
wear
used to it.
in the early years.
He looks good in the uniform.
It's because he's wearing a muscle suit underneath it. No, I was
See,
just.
they're spelling it right
She
there.
just spelled the name.
Quace.
I didn't see anything. She didn't.
Could be Quai.
What I like about this episode for her is that it's a mystery episode and it's Beverly getting to use her brain, right? She gets to solve the puzzle. And so it's a really good showcase for Crusher, getting to show off that she's, a smart person.
Did somebody else write this episode to kind of get a different
Perspective.
on because it seems like
It was written by Lee Sheldon, who was, I think, one of the regular
staff kind of writers.
staff writers
All right.
on the show.
It does feel like a detective story, like a.
It is. It's a mystery. And that's what I like about it, is that she kind of has to put it all together in her mind. So now what's happening, Minh, is that not only does nobody remember him, Miles, who we saw meet the guy, is saying, I don't remember meeting that guy. And there's also no record of him in the computers. Like, Data's like, there is no Dr. Quace in the records of Starfleet.
So what happened?
The other thing I like about this episode is that they don't immediately jump to, well, something's wrong with Beverly.
Right.
Yeah.
They all
Trust
believe
her.
her.
Yeah,
for a
that- I
long
noticed
part
that
of the
too.
episode.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, you're our friend and our colleague, and we trust
Search
you.
it out. Yeah.
Something is going on. Let's work the mystery.
I mean-
instead of immediately jumping to, you are cuckoo, lady. I liked how much trust they
Yeah.
have in her.
Agreed.
Me too, because I think it would be really typical to just go right to like.
Right.
Hysterical woman.
Right.
But also, I think it makes sense in the fact that they've seen all these wonders and
Right.
and,
Every week something weird happens on
Yeah.
this fucking ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
It should be like, did you check the energized cloud?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Is it an energized cloud?
They must have a checklist of things to like look into.
Yeah.
Is Q anywhere near?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been exposed to a crystalline entity within the last 72 hours?
Yeah, exactly. Can you fill out this questionnaire?
Immediately make sure Data's not crazy.
Has Data been malfunctioning lately?
Yeah. Exactly.
So they don't immediately go, well, you're bonkers, because something crazy is every week. Something fucking weird is happening.
Yeah. I mean, they could all be holodeck, phantoms right
Right.
now.
Is this are we secretly on the holodeck and we forgot?
Yeah. Has that one already happened? Where
Has
they
a
were...
mysterious alien wiped out our memory?
Yeah, exactly.
So, Aaron, do you know the answer to why the mystery?
Because you only got 15 or
Yeah.
so minutes into this.
Well, here's the thing I like about sci-fi mysteries when you hear a solution, it doesn't like ruin sort of like the solving. It's not This one
It's
was
not just
good.
out of left
It's
field.
not just because it
doesn't feel like a cheat.
It doesn't feel like a
feels-
cheat.
yeah.
Like she can solve it. It follows the rules within the universe, and she,
I agree.
Yeah,
It's
and-
really well written. Like, it's a good mystery.
Just for the writer, this is the only episode he's credited with writing.
interesting.
Oh, really?
Yep.
It's too intellectual. So what's the answer? Do
He
you
might
think,
have been
Aaron?
in the room, but this is the only one he
His
was given
lead
as a
one.
writer.
It's not an energized cloud. That would be boring. Huh?
Oh, he was also a producer on the show, so this might be his only writing credit.
Yeah, he might have like.
Yeah, he was probably in the writer's room. He just never did.
But I agree with you, Phillipe. Like, it's a well constructed mystery that doesn't feel like a cop out when
Yeah.
you finally sort of understand what's happening.
Right.
I mean, they've already kind of figured it out because they're like, the only weird thing that's happened lately is this experiment of Wesley's
Right.
Yeah.
did something weird. So they've already sort of they're sort of honed in on it, not quite, but they definitely are like, maybe something weird happened when this experiment fizzled out or whatever it did. But they think that maybe it caused him to vanish, the man, the Dr. Quace, to vanish.
So like when I watch a episode or things that have like a lot of gaslighting in it, there's a certain point where it's like satisfying, and then it crosses a threshold where I'm just like, fuck you, just let's get on to the next part where, you know what I mean? Like there's because like they get so frustrating because you're like, they do it forever, you know? It's like, you know, more and more stuff that you can't. Yeah, I don't know. Like I do think there's just like a really, I think a lot of these kinds of episodes and stories, like there's always this point where I'm I'm done with the part of not knowing and thinking the person is crazy, because clearly the book is going to end at some point and that person's not going to be crazy. So I just there always goes on to me like,
Yeah, you gotta make the turn at the right time.
yeah, you got to make the
before
turn at the right time, where I get pissed off.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's what I think this episode gets it right.
yeah, no,
Like,
I agree. I'm just
because
saying,
every time it escalates, because now everyone is her entire, what's happened, man, is her entire medical staff is now gone.
Oh yeah, and
And not only are they
And when
gone,
she
but no one
says-
remembers them.
no one's
being-
acknowledging
What
that she
she's
has
saying,
a staff.
what she's saying to them right now is they're missing, and she's like, there are no other people on the medical staff. You're the only doctor on the whole ship. And and she's like, I can't be a doctor. There's 1,000 people on the ship. And they're like, no, there's not 1,000 people on the ship. There's only 200 people on the ship.
Whoa.
So now it's not just one person missing, it's lots of people missing, and no one remembers them except Beverly. And even now, they still trust her. Well, Riker kind of gives her some side eye.
Yeah.
He does it a couple of times in this
Yeah.
episode where he's like, he gives her a look like, I think it's you.
Yeah.
Hysterical.
Why are you
It's
wasting my
really
time?
John Luke
Hysterical
who's
woman.
sort of the one who's like, because he just trusts Beverly so much
Right.
that
So it's like a rapturing almost.
right. It's like if the person you trusted most, like, said that there was somebody, you know, you just kind of think about it. I can't help but to try to think about it in my own, like, if somebody I know just starts telling me, like, who's this, like, this person that we've lived with, like, for years, or, you know, a kid that we had that doesn't exist. Like, I always wonder, like, how much trust can you actually have for a person before you're like, okay, it's time to.
Right.
Time
I mean,
to-
they give her a lot of
yeah.
leeway, you know? They trust her for a long time. In fact, they trust her all the way through to the end, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you do the same with Aaron, right? Wait, why are you laughing?
Sorry, I got enraptured into the scene. So.
So, for the straight men in the room, or the gay men as well, and the ladies,
Identify
who do you
yourself.
think is hotter, Troy or Crusher? When you watched it originally, who were you the bigger fan of?
I mean, to quote the Music Man, the sadder but wiser girl for me. So.
The music, man.
So I guess I identified myself as the gay person. She looks more like Shirley Jones, so I don't know, I'll take Crusher.
I was always the Crusher fan.
Sure.
Really?
I think the conventional wisdom answer would be Troy, right?
Yeah.
He was
Sure.
the like
Right.
bodacious.
Well, she's the one in the
I was always into
in the tight
redheads,
suit.
so.
You got a more sense of what your
She always had those boobs point
Sure.
sticking out.
Yeah.
The window.
I think Beverly is the thinking man's answer.
Yeah,
right?
I guess that's what I think. I think
yeah.
particularly in this episode, she's extremely
Shawn,
attractive.
I wasn't discriminating like that. Oh my gosh, she's having a
No.
quantum leap moment.
I read in the thing when she does all her own stunts.
Wait. Wait until we get to the big one. at
Yeah,
the
we
end.
haven't done the real one yet. Yeah.
What stunt?
Well,
There was no stunt there, but there is one coming up.
yeah, she fights a Gorn. Okay, it's gonna be in.
I mean, she does look sort of sultry.
She
with
did
her
a little
hair like
physical
that.
work there. I mean, she does.
There's more coming.
She does a turn. She kind of slams herself against the wall a little bit.
So everyone is working very hard to figure out what's going on. They're all operating under the assumption that Beverly is telling the truth. So, but Jordy is saying that he couldn't find any residue of that vortex that we just saw. He scanned the room and there was nothing there. So, just another little tick of evidence against Beverly, right? Because she's like, there was a weird thing that just happened, and Jordy's like, nah, there was not a weird thing that just happened.
And Wesley is still around, and he hasn't been disappeared, right?
Wesley has not disappeared yet.
Yeah.
I like the way they do the disappearances as they get to be fewer and fewer people on the ship. They start doing these very simple but effective. Beverly is talking and then she turns around, and when she turns back around, the person's not there anymore.
Right.
Kind of tricks that are really effective.
The first big one's about to be revealed.
So now even more people are vanishing, right?
Who do we lose next? Is it Data?
You guys want to play?
it
The
Jordy?
people who haven't seen it want to place bets on the order that
who's
people
the first?
the order that people vanish in?
Who's the first bridge crew to go?
Spoiler: more people are going to vanish.
Yeah,
Troy. will
Troy
go.
hasn't even been in it.
No, she was in this meeting.
Oh, is she? I didn't see
thought I
her.
saw some.
I only have eyes for Beverly.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Well, your time is up.
Yeah, they're about to reveal.
Is he gonna be?
I was gonna say Worf.
Why didn't you then?
I got distracted.
I like her description of Worf.
The big,
tries
big guy doesn't smile.
She's like, the Klingon, and they're all just like,
What?
"Nope,
You can't say
never heard of
that.
him.
You can't say that in a meeting.
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
Is it Red Alert right now? Mm-hmm. Or is it Boogie Time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like Deanna's outfit was. I felt bad for Marina Sirtis.
So like extra clingy.
Yeah.
Sets of Klingon makeup is her dress is clinging on to her body.
I mean, it felt like she probably couldn't wear underwear when she was wearing that outfit because it's too like
yeah, you'd see
skin
the
tight,
seams.
and there's no like you can't see any like support systems in there.
yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's just well done. You
Yeah,
know,
I think it's well.
I'm looking hard. Too.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm seeing support.
Yeah, all right.
I think she has another one of those on underneath it. It's like a Spanx. For
I do like Troy's.
space Spanx.
I like Troy's reaction in this scene because Beverly's starting to wonder: is it just me? And Deanna's good. She's a good counselor in this moment because she's like, so what? If it's you, then it's you, and nothing terrible has happened so far. And if it's true, then we have to take care of that too. So she's a good counselor. Mm-hmm. But I did think watching this last night, is it weird that Deanna is the counselor for the whole ship, including the people that she's friends with? Like you wouldn't. You're not supposed to be friends with like your therapist, right? There's supposed to be like a separation of professional and personal. But Deanna is not just their therapist; she's also their friend. It feels like that would be sort of a conflict of.
It's the future.
It's the future.
Staffing, no, they didn't have budget for two.
Yeah.
No, because I feel like with my best friend, I can share and almost have therapy talks with them.
But do you think that are there supposed to be no other counselors on the ship?
She's the only one we ever see.
Right.
She's for the bridge crew.
There's other medical
because she
staff.
talks about the fact that she
She sees
sees everybody.
time,
Yeah.
I think she's the only counselor for the whole ship.
Yeah. Well, most people don't need counseling.
Yeah, they're Uber people.
That's not true.
In the future,
Well, how many Barclays are there on the ship out of the population?
there's Charles.
yeah.
There's this basketball playing dog. But his name is Charles
Barkley.
Barkley, too. But it's different. It's hilarious. Yeah.
There's Barclays Bank.
Those are the ones we know of.
See, he's gone.
We lost Wesley.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Oh, he was supposed to solve it.
Nope, he's vanished. She's so good in this episode because she plays the emotion of it too, and in addition to the
He was hiding back there.
yeah, that shot of him standing up is
Yeah.
hilarious. 'Cause
Yeah.
the bridge looks completely empty, and then he pops
And then
up.
you see his bald head.
Yeah. And he's like, what do you...
So now, Minh, everyone is gone.
Right.
It's Beverly and Jean-Luc, and they're the only
And
two
he's
people
like,
on the show.
finally, I have you all to myself.
Yeah.
And this is a very
He chose her, too, over Deanna.
This
so.
is some fun
Yeah.
stuff because she's like, she finally calls out the illogic of it all. She's like, you mean the two of us
Right.
are the only two people who
Sure.
work on this whole huge ship? And he's like, well, we've never needed any help before. And she's like, who are all the chairs for?
Good eye. Yeah.
We have all these
Word.
fucking rooms. Who are they for?
They're for us.
This is really good.
yeah.
She's describing the rest of the crew.
Plays the trombone.
And she's so good in this moment. She's kind of desperate.
Yeah.
Like she's trying to get through to him, but she's also trying to like keep her like composure so
Yeah.
that he believes her.
Right.
This is this is the best Gates McFadden ever is in this episode.
Gates McFadden agrees.
She's giving her a
She
lot in
deserved
this
more,
episode.
you know, because they don't do very many Beverly focused episodes.
Yeah.
And when they do, it's, you know, Beverly falls in love with the alien of the week kind of garbage. And this is one of the rare episodes where she gets to really show off. And she says they deserve to be remembered. It's really sad.
Yeah.
It's a really good moment.
And like I like this mix of like sort of sympathy and pity, and
Yeah.
from him it's perfect.
And he wants you know, he loves her too. So he's trying to be as supportive as he can, but he's like, I think you've lost your shit, Beverly. He's like, maybe you should go lock yourself in your room for
Yeah.
now.
But he doesn't really have a good answer for why
Yeah.
the ship is so big, and it's just
Yeah, well, his only answer is he says we've just never needed any
just
crew
is.
before.
Yeah.
It's always been fine. She's like, this is a pretty big ship for two people to fly around on. Earlier in the episode, she asks, what are all the extra rooms for?
Yeah.
And Data's still there at that point, and he's like, diplomatic missions,
Yeah.
rescue missions,
Rescue refugees.
emergency evacuations.
Sometimes you want to watch.
So they had like a sort of logical answer for why the ship was so big,
Yeah.
but it really doesn't make sense that it's just her and him.
The Halloween store, which, you know, it's only seasonal, so it's going to be empty most of the
Right,
time.
most of the time.
yeah, but when it comes on,
I can't believe those Halloween stores make enough money to justify that.
Halloween's big business,
it's
man.
big business, and that stuff is
Really?
basically
but
free.
we've all stopped dressing up.
Have we? Wait, I didn't get that.
I think
memo.
you're speaking for yourself.
We're all dressed up
there.
right now, man.
Yeah.
What are you
Man.
talking
Yeah,
about?
just because it looks like I'm naked does not mean I'm not dressed up.
Sure.
I'm playing what I think Sardaz should have been.
I dressed up as Dr. Beverly Crusher.
You look very good, Matt.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm surprised by your outfit, Aaron.
I mean, it's shocking, but it's also necessary.
Well, she liked to dress up as Jean-Luc.
She shaved her head. for it.
Sexy John Luke.
So now they're having this sweet little moment
Yeah.
at where he's saying, you know, I've always believed in you and I've always trusted you. And she's about to tell him,
Yeah.
I've been in love with you for years.
Yeah.
And then he vanishes.
Yeah.
Before she gets a chance to say it.
Is she going mad?
Yeah.
She's not, and she's about to use her powers of deduction
Yeah.
to solve the problem.
She's
asked
getting
about
ready
a
to science this
traveler.
shit.
She's gonna run some science on
Do you
this
remember the
shit.
Traveler?
No.
Well,
We've met the traveler.
You'd be
before.
forgiven for not remembering.
All right, here comes the stunt.
Here comes the stunt.
Oh. The Poltergeist Traveler.
wow.
She did that stunt herself.
She
Wait,
flipped.
wait, it gets better. It gets better.
Hold on.
No, not the
Come on,
Corinthian
Beverly.
leather. Not the Corinthian leather.
The next day, she found out she was pregnant.
Wait. There it is.
Oh my God. I don't think I could hold that.
Yeah, she's holding herself Cirque du Soleil style using just her arm strength there.
The way that they did it is they mounted the chair to a wall. So she's actually hanging vertically, and then they just,
Yeah.
What?
processed the shot in.
You look good.
Yeah, it looks good.
Put a fan in.
Nice.
They had a fan blowing her hair around.
Hey, thank you. That's what I was doing.
I like this shot too.
Who was that? Wesley?
Yeah, it's Wesley.
Yeah.
He looked
What
weird.
you're learning is that the vortex is them on the other side trying to get her back. Because what's happened is the experiment that Wesley was doing created a little like alternate dimension that Beverly got sucked into.
So an energized cloud.
There he is. I hate this guy.
So this actor was tried out for Data.
He
That's
looks
right.
Well, I'm glad he didn't get it because Brent Spiner is a great
Yes.
data.
He looks like an alien Zuckerberg.
His name is the
him.
Traveler. We have seen him once
That's what
before.
Zuckerberg looks like without makeup on. When they don't have
His
any-
thing is
human
that
skin.
he can do weird shit with warp stuff.
Oh yeah.
That's his magical ability.
That's right. He had like a civil service job for a while, and then like working on warp engines, and he was really like the genius behind all the warp engine improvements.
Right.
And he has 0 eyebrows,
Well, they're
Well, when
bone
you're working
eyebrows.
with-
they're bone brows.
ridges.
It's hair underneath the skin there.
In a little
Gross.
pouch of.
They're all ingrown hairs.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You need to go to Poppin.
Just thinking about it, that hair in there.
I know. That's gross.
I also hate the gloves they have on him. He's got
3-fingered.
He's got
gloves.
really ugly 3-fingered hands.
Yeah,
Those
I
are
feel
like-
like it was unnecessary.
Those are like ET hands, aren't
Well,
they?
they're clearly like sealed together.
Yeah.
E.T. had 5 fingers.
Did he?
And in the long ones.
Yeah, he had like a bunch of fingers.
Dozens.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to correction corner. How many fingers did E.T. have?
Yeah.
But you're so
God
far
damn it.
behind anyway. So.
Oh, thanks, man. It's like you'll never get around to that. You haven't done the correction corner in months.
I didn't mean to imply that, but
Sick burn, man.
Yeah. Not many would get it, but
So now she's going to Min. What she's about to do is start working the problem using her
Cranium.
deductive faculties,
Yeah.
right? So she's asking the computer questions to try and get to the bottom of what's going on. So she's like, start with the assumption that I'm not crazy and this is all really happening.
oh, it's like 20 questions.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think the computer's always.
She's so good in this when she's just talking to herself.
I told you, all the other actors are holding her back.
She's going to sort of logic the situation, and she asks the computer, because she's now the only person on the ship. She asks the computer, am I qualified to run this gigantic fucking ship all by myself? And the computer's like, no.
Yeah.
And she's like, aha, I gotcha.
So is her logic going to spit her back out into her real reality?
I think it gives her like.
It gives her the clue that she needs to realize that the vortex is not a bad thing, that that it's them on the other side trying to save her.
Oh, she's
and that instead of
drive
trying to
back.
stay out of it, she should go towards the light.
Oh, interesting.
This is a go towards the light, Carol Ann.
Yeah,
kind
I was
of
gonna
an
say,
episode.
Caroline.
I don't get that reference.
Is that a
You don't?
poltergeist?
What?
It's
I've
Poltergeist.
never seen Poltergeist.
What?
What?
Never seen
That's what we're
okay.
gonna watch.
It's one of my blind spots.
No,
That
I don't
really
wanna watch Poltergeist.
That is
You don't wanna watch
shocking.
Poltergeist?
I was not a horror
Scary
kid. I
movie.
didn't
Is it
like
too
scary
scary?
movies when I was a kid. And it's just one of those ones that I never got back to. You
That
know?
one-
Yeah.
I didn't watch scary movies when it was out.
That one's not even an R. That was like a scary movie for kids.
Yeah.
It was Spielberg
felt
scary movie.
But it was also really good at building up like the
It's
sort
also
of,
very good at
Yeah.
being scary.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's a good movie.
especially for kids. Like I feel like it really tapped into.
I've seen the scene where
You know the
Craig T.
theory that
Nelson-
Spielberg secretly directed that movie, right? Does everybody know that?
What?
I'd heard something about that. When I was-
That Toby Hooper is the official director, but
The credited director.
The theory is that Spielberg actually kind of secretly directed
Spielberg
it.
was very involved. He produced it and was apparently very involved in making it. And there's been a lot of speculation over the years because it has a very Spielberg-y vibe to it. So a lot of the speculation over the years is that Spielberg was sort of the shadow director of Poltergeist.
He's like, put the camera here, do this.
Because it doesn't feel like a Tobe Hooper movie. It feels like a Steven Spielberg movie.
Yeah.
I like the scene where Craig T. Nelson yells, "You moved the stones, but you didn't move the bodies."
Yeah.
So you've seen some of
You're aware
I
of
have
it.
seen.
Poltergeist.
I know the story.
Yeah.
I can tell you, and I've seen that scene.
You've seen parodies.
You haven't seen Go Into the Light, Carol Ann?
Yeah.
And is she the little girl that goes into the
Yeah.
TV?
Yeah.
You've never seen the great Zelda Rubinstein playing the like psychic
Weirdo.
Yeah.
She's amazing in that movie.
Yeah.
That is
Got
a
that
great
voice, too.
performance. This house is clean. So good.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we got to watch that.
It sounds like you've watched it.
It's
Aaron.
spooky season.
Oh, yeah.
We should
I
watch
watched it growing
Poltergeist.
up. Yeah.
And you liked it? You
Yeah.
didn't mind it?
It was one of those movies that was on. It
was on TV.
every year at Halloween. It was
Yeah,
like
it was
a
on
staple.
TV, so I
Just that the sort of iconic image of the girl putting her hand on the TV.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was full of like, very memorable imagery.
What happened to that little
The
girl? I know
clown doll,
she
like-
died
died,
young.
right?
Yeah.
Was it an accident or something?
A lot of-
Illness?
No,
She had,
she
like,
was. She had
cancer
some
or
kind of
something like
disease.
that.
Yeah, I forget what. But
I think there's like all sorts of people who are interested in like haunting
there's
stories
the
of
famous Poltergeist curse.
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
or a lot of the
That all of the people
Well-
who were involved in Poltergeist came to untimely. I guess not Craig T. Nelson. He's
Yeah.
still around, but
the only one we wanted to take out.
Coach.
hey, if he had gone, we would have gotten Coach
Right?
Or The Incredibles.
I'm kidding. I like Craig.
or Parenthood. He was
The
good on
Incredibles?
Parenthood, too.
He's Mr. Incredible.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, I am so clueless.
Yeah, the little girl, the actress who played the Carol Ann, is buried at that Westwood cemetery where Marilyn Monroe is.
Hollywood. That's,
Yeah.
That's sad.
Anyway.
Gonna get more.
Well,
of
way
it.
to break down. The,
Sad.
yeah, like
I
was-
suddenly it was like, let's all think about the death of a little girl
well, that one's just famous. Well, because
in the middle of our fun, lighthearted podcast.
Yeah.
Let's take a moment to remember the untimely death.
Well, for me, it's like, you know that detail that she died young, but I don't know anything else. So it becomes kind of like a part of the lore of the movie. It's sort of like this sort of mysterious, even though obviously.
She made it all the way into the third movie. So this deal with the Traveler, this becomes important to Wesley's sort of story later on because they're setting up this idea that Wesley has magical powers just like the Traveler does, and that he can like tap into the power of warp the way that the Traveler can, which ultimately, spoiler alerts for what happens to Wesley in the end, he like travels away with the Traveler eventually.
right.
Yeah.
Do we see the Traveler again? Because I feel
Yes.
like I've seen the character.
he's
We've seen him before.
and we'll see him again.
I mean, they're
seen him
setting up to
before?
get rid of
Yes,
Wesley, right?
We've seen him before.
When?
There's an episode where there's a guy working on the warp core.
It's
to
in the
try to
very
boost
first.
up the warp
It's
core.
in the very first season,
and he has this guy, the Traveler, as sort of his
Assistant.
assistant.
but it turns out that the Traveler is really the one who's
Who does
doing it
everything,
all
yeah.
along.
And they end up traveling galaxies and
they
galaxies.
go.
away.
They launch.
It's the one where they end up way on the other side of the universe.
galaxy. Yeah.
Well, that's cool if Wesley and the Traveler go off and travel across
That's
the
what
universe.
they end up doing. They end up going off and traveling. So what Beverly has realized, Minh, is that the situation is that she has been trapped in this warp bubble this whole time by Wesley, caused by Wesley's experiments, and the bubble is shrinking, which is causing the ship to like decompress because the bubble is, as you can see there, it's starting to affect the ship.
Yeah.
Which is why everybody has vanished. So she has to figure out where the vortex is going to reappear
And then be there.
and then be there in order to catch it. Meanwhile, in the real world, the gang has gone back to the scene of the crime. They've gone back to the starbase where they were at the beginning of the episode, and they're putting themselves in the exact same spot in space so that they can sort of recreate the experiment and get Beverly back.
Why was Wesley closing his eyes? Was he
he has
using
to
the
like
force?
Powers.
Because he has to use his fucking whatever warp powers.
Magic warp powers.
Mr. Sausage Fingers has told him to use his warp powers.
It only works if you suck on one of my sausage fingers. So Wesley.
It does feel a little,
Yeah.
exploitative.
Yeah.
This guy is fucking creepy.
Yeah.
I wish you could hear the sound of his voice, because you would be even more distressed
Yeah.
if you could hear him.
The fact that he
it's
looks like-
vaguely pedo,
Yeah.
like the whole like traveler Wesley.
I'm getting it through his
relationship
body language just
gives
by
off a very uncomfortable vibe.
he looks like powder.
I do
too.
not approve of the traveler's interest in Wesley.
No.
Does not seem entirely warp based.
I'm going to take you
It's
across
warped.
the
It's
galaxy.
warped, but it's not about warp.
So I assume like they don't really cover those travels anywhere in books. Or
No, he
novels.
eventually. Well, they might in
Yeah.
the books. I don't know.
I'll bet. I'm sure there are
fanfics on there.
There must be
Wesley
books about
and the
Wesley and the
traveler
Traveler. That's
having
probably
sex on their travels.
I think that's everybody's homework is to find one example of a.
So
Wesley.
Beverly's putting it all together. She's like, this whole thing started in engineering. That's where I have to be in order to catch the vortex. And the reason, because she was thinking about losing people in her life at the moment the accident happened, that's why the people have been vanishing. Because her thoughts created this bubble universe that she's in.
Well, we know how much she cares for each person in the ship.
Based on the order they leave.
Yeah.
So
More-
she loves Jean-Luc more than
her
Wesley.
son.
That's what I was gonna say. I think we all agree with that.
Which is the right choice.
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Really, isn't a mother's love supposed to be the strongest?
supposed
not
to
as
be,
much
but
as the bald-headed
Not when you're
captain.
confronted with Patrick Stewart's power.
Yeah, exactly. It's still the right choice.
That bald head, that bald head has a power.
I'm a father, and
Yeah,
He's it's got a gravitational pull.
yeah. It's got its own warp bubble. What?
You just want to like rub that head and
Yeah.
I don't know, eat cookies. Like that's all you want to do.
Yeah.
If
that's
you
like-
guys were stuck on the Enterprise by yourself and there was no warp bubble to worry about, what would you do first?
You just had the ship all to yourself
All to yourself. Yeah.
for like a week, or for what? What's the time
I
frame
don't know,
we're
just
talking
that,
about?
just like the next hour or day. That's a day.
hour?
1 hour.
A day.
That's
A day.
not nearly enough
A
time.
day. You've got a
I mean,
day.
it's like trying to get to the.
There's a lot to do on the ship.
Sure,
How
but
fast can I get to holodeck? For no reason.
Computer, immediately transport me to holodeck.
Yeah.
Your cleanest holiday.
Yeah, just holodeck, my man.
Your most comfrey holodeck. Energize.
There are no holodecks. There are no holodecks.
Oh no.
Oh, right.
Failure to comply. Please restate your request. Least coming. Least coming holodeck.
You guys wouldn't want to like fly the Enterprise around, go warp 9.8,
you can always
fire
do
on
that.
torpedoes.
She does that every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, you don't feel like inertia, so it just be like looking at a view screen going, I'm going through space.
But alternatively, you could go to the holodeck like when the other people are there too.
Not for what I wanted to do.
I like those backlit shots that they do in this episode. It's very
Scary.
atmospheric.
almost.
Like it's a cool shot.
It's like, it's like Poltergeist.
It is like Poltergeist.
Yeah, the wind, it's like,
Oh, there
Alright.
we go.
Oh no!
Damn, girl.
And man, he passes Wesley.
Yep. I love
Like
that moment.
Wesley goes down right in front of him, and he shoots right past him. and goes
Well, we
to
already know that
Beverly.
he can't stand Wesley. I mean,
It's like, wow, dude. That's some cold shit, John Luke. Just leave the boy.
Oh, I hate him
Wesley's
so
like,
much. This guy sucks.
My stepfather sucks.
The way that guy's leaning over the console, I'm just like, ugh.
That's why he was such a.
Hey, Wesley
easy
just
prey
did the
to
Picard
predator.
maneuver, you guys.
Did he?
Oh, they pulled the
He
shirt
just did
down.
the little pull the shirt down.
He does look like a little Picard, but with hair right now. With their matching outfits.
So now Beverly's like, how many people are there? And the answer is the right answer.
And Dr. Quace, in case you forgot his name.
She's like, nope, that's
It's
exactly.
Queese, but yeah.
It's Queese, but yeah.
It's Dr. Queef. And
Dr. Queesberger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so that's it.
All
That's
well
Remember
that
Me.
ends well.
Yeah. How
I
can they have a south up in space? That's good. How does that even make sense?
A great question.
Like that thing was like the South Bridge, like based on fucking what? Like, fuck, the equator of the Earth.
it's all relative.
It
to
was
each
named
other.
after William Jameson South. It's the South Bridge.
Okay.
No, it's just south of north. And then, yeah. I did really love those exterior shots. They give a lot of great character and personality.
Yeah. And a sense of scale. Good job. Good job, exterior artists.
Yeah.
Matte painters and 3D modelers. And
Good episode.
that was a good episode. And I like Beverly. She's she's really compelling. And I actually like the way that the way she was like lit in the thing made her feel more attractive. And in some episodes, there's some like harsh lighting. I like her hair with the little bit of the curl in it.
Your wife is next.
I wish you guys,
liked
if
it.
you would see, I wish you guys could have heard the sound, because so much of the episode is her sort of talking to herself for a lot of it. She's really good. It's just a really good performance.
I think of her voice as being like a really good soothing doctor voice too. For something about it. It's like knowledgeable, it's kind, but
Yeah.
you know, I don't know.
Would she make a good GPS voice?
They should do GPS voice for. They should have what's her face, Majel, do it. She's dead now, but
They probably have enough recording. They probably
Still
have
ever
enough.
do it.
Yeah.
they should still.
I'm sure
Have.
they've got every word they can
Yeah.
scan from all the.
She's probably said enough words and been
Yeah.
recorded over the years. They could recreate it. Well, that's it, you guys.
Wow, what a great episode.
That was
Go.
fun. Happy
That was
Halloween to
Remember Me.
everybody.
Yeah.
Love it.
Spooky.
Thank you all very much for listening to Warped. Please go to iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts to rate, review, and subscribe. You can email us at warpthepodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram at warpthepodcast. Buy our merchandise at lunar_flare. We're on Twitter at warpedtrek. I'm on Twitter at hostwarped. Minh is on Twitter at wetmaynard for information about our Dungeons and Dragons and Call of Cthulhu live streams and podcasts. And you can go to patreon.com/warp to become a subscriber, get access to bonus material and additional episodes. Join us next week for Legacy, where we will meet the sister
Barkley.
the sister of Tasha Yar.
Oh, yeah.
I told you guys earlier,
We're taking
a few
a
weeks ago.
taking a trip to the rape planet.
Oh, yeah. Come on, Shawn, please.
There's so many other things you can do there.
I feel like I have to put a trigger warning in every time we say Rape Planet on the show.
Yeah.
Sorry to our audience.
That's what they call Earth on some planets.
It's
all right?
another family.
So
I
let's
told you
be-
guys this season is all about family. I told you that at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Tasha's sister next week. Until then, my name is Matt.
I'm Shawn.
I'm Jake. Phillipe.
Aaron.
And I'm in win.
Happy Halloween and goodbye.
I'm Shank.
I'm jugular.
Is it Spook Trek or is it Star Trek: The Next Spookeration?
Thank you very much.
All right.